man down. Hard to adjust this late in the year without great players such as Chris Wright. But they got other good players, and they had a week to practice. I thought they had every chance to beat Syracuse. When I watched the film last weekend, I thought they played great against us for a long period of time, and then they went cold. We finally knocked in some shots. Our made free throws were the difference in our offense, especially Yancey Gates. And we just tried to wear them down as best we could. And hopefully that would affect their three-point shooting by making Clark and Freeman handle the basketball, picking them up full court, and continue to zigzag them and make them expend energy dribbling. And hopefully that would take their legs for the three-point shooting. Whether that was a factor or not, you never know, but they were 2 for 15. So we really weren't trying to turn them over as much as just wearing them down. Tremendous effort by our kids. We got nobody on our team had more than 4 field goals. So we had 9 guys score a basket. It's tremendous. That's what we're all about. That's how we have to win games. And it's nice way to close off our regular season, winning 6 of our last 8. Our last 4 on the road, but most importantly, getting a bye in the Big East tournament and to get a little chance to get a little rest. Trying to improve our seed with quality wins for the NCAA tournament. But a lot of great efforts at different points in the game. Different guys, so many guys played well today at different times. And I thought it was fitting that Rashad Bishop, he's been our glue guy all year. And he did a great job defensively again today. And it's fitting that he goes out without scoring, but yet is such a huge factor on the game. I want him to score the rest of the year, but thought it's funny how that happens. That's really what he's been about his whole career.
You put him back in the game, if I remember, with about 12 minutes left, and Freeman scored like 6 straight points while he was out. And he pretty much shut him down until the last couple minutes of the game. Did you tell him to go in there and get you on?
Well, when yeah, I saw them. They tried to. I think JT snuck Freeman out for a quick rest, and when he put him back in, I put Rashad back in. And you know, SK was doing a decent job on him for a freshman. And you know, they set a lot of screens and a lot of handoffs for him, and a lot of pick and rolls. So, yeah, when I saw him come back with him, we tried to come back with Rashad.
You did it mostly with man-to-man as opposed to the zone the last time. Is that because they hit a few shots early against the zone, or is it because you thought you'd wear them out better?
Yeah, I thought we'd wear them out better. You know, I didn't want to make it a game of three-point shooting. They got some guys that can really shoot the basketball. And
you started in the zone, didn't you?
Well, yes and no. We try, you know, it's different things that signal our changing defenses. But there was a point where we just went to full court man and just try to wear them down.
Is it hard to make that decision after that zone worked so well?
No, because I hate zone. I have hard decisions in life. Getting out of the zone is never one of them. It's hard to go to it for me, but you know, it's been good to us. But you know, I thought with our crowd being a factor, which I thought today was our best crowd of the year, Louisville second, Xavier third. I thought the crowd affected our opponent, and it definitely injected life into our team, our student section. If you were to ask me, you know, what if you're going to be the head coach at Cincinnati and you can have a student section, what would you want it to be like? And I would say, if you were in there today, that's what I would hope it could be every game. You know, it was like Cameron Indoor in there today.
At one time you were orchestrating.
Yeah. Hey, if they come and they do what they do, I'm going to acknowledge them. It matters. It matters. I was thanking them after the play. They make guys miss free throws or rattling guys. I was thanking them. Well, I'm trying to get them to come back next year, especially, you know, our students.
4 years with this group of seniors, they go out like this.
Huge. Yeah, I wanted them to go out with a win. And I wanted, you know, we've been on a great run here, late in the season, playing well. I wanted to finish it off right, you know, and go into New York with a good taste in your mouth, and definitely get the bye. But can't say enough about our senior class. It's funny, you know, you talk to kids about little things for 4 years, and Darnell Wilkes finally goes and gets a great offensive rebound. I mean, it was a tremendous offense. Comes flying from the foul line over people. I think Georgetown guys said, who was that? Just jumped over me. I mean, literally, I think he jumped over a guy. And then the next thing, he hits a three. When you do what you're supposed to do, it's amazing how other things fall in line for you. And, you know, all of a sudden, then you make a shot. It's amazing how that happens in basketball. But, you know, I thought Darnell gave us great energy today.
I think Yancey Gates will go 10 for 10 from the line.
You know what's funny? I mean, you see, the guy's got a really soft touch. He's got a tendency to lean left when he shoots and follow through to the right. And right now, he's got his shoulders steady, and he's got his ball on line because he got a lot of soft rolls today on his misses. That's because he's got his ball straight on the line. But he's worked at it. And it's really encouraging because in the last 5, coming into today, he was 71% in our last 5 games. And you know, there's always a call for Yancey to be more physical. And you recall Kenyon Martin, he wasn't a guy that really wanted to play offense until his senior year. Direct correlation, but he went from 47% to 71%. When a guy starts making free throws, they seek contact, which is what everybody, including myself, always wants Yancey to do. You know, use his Charles Barkley backside and be physical. But you know, when you're shooting in the 40s from the foul line, which he was going into our last 6 games, you know, I don't know how motivated you are to go get fouled, and then you have to go up there where you don't have any confidence. So the fact that he's confident right now at the foul line, he's been this way. You know, like last week he told me he thought the way he's been shooting free throws, he should shoot our technicals. I told him, you know, easy, easy. You know, but you're playing better, and I appreciate it, but slow down.
What did you think of the execution there at the end of the first half?
Well, I thought the pass from Rashad and Yancey getting open, that was part of the play. The guys at half court cut too soon, and Yancey didn't have an option to pass it. You know, in that play, he's supposed to be a passer, but I think it was Larry and SK. They cut too soon, and Georgetown didn't help off him. You know, but you know, I think the guys did a great job. If you can get a shot, it's got to change. Even though it banks, you got a chance. You know, instead of just throwing it and shooting a 70-footer. As you guys watch, I'm a big believer in those situations. And giving, you know, that one more shot, I mean, you never know. You know, look at the momentum it gave us, and you know, trying to get at least a shot that has a chance in that situation. The kids have done a pretty good job of that all year, but Yancey did a great job of getting himself open, and then fortunately he got the bounce.
I think you outscored like 26 to 8 the last 8 minutes or something like that. Is that just when you get on the roll and the crowd gets into it?
I thought the crowd was a huge factor. Maybe they're fatigued a little bit, and you know, that's probably where Chris Wright would have helped him the most. But fatigue probably was a little bit of a factor for their guards. I will say this, we played them twice, Julian Bond's got 1 basket. And what happens, whether it's Cincinnati, Georgetown, if you can't score inside, it puts a lot of pressure on your other guys. And the fact that we eliminated their low post play in both games kind of made them a one-dimensional team. And not only does he not score, he didn't get to the foul line. He's no field goals, no points. And he's a good player. Now, I know he only played 16 minutes, but Sims has 1 basket and 3 points. So we eliminated their low post game. Yancey and Biggie did a great job of not giving those guys easy touches and not letting them turn and score. You know, our interior defense, both games against Georgetown, really was the reason we were able to play so good defensively, because the Princeton offense spreads you out, and when they hurt you inside, you start to help, then it becomes a chain reaction, and it was really never changed. They never caused that with us because we didn't have to help off. Our one-on-one no post defense was excellent.
There was when you guys were making your run, I think SK hit a 3 from the corner, and I asked you just kind of smiled and clapped. Are you able to kind of take in normally what you guys were doing today? Was there a moment to kind of sit back and the crowd's going crazy and you guys are making a run and you just kind of look around and say, wow, this is pretty...
That's what it's supposed, like I said, when you're coaching at a big-time place in the Big East with the tradition that we have, the Final Fours and the national championships, that's how it should be.
Are you enjoying this run as much as you've enjoyed
I
it?
told you guys, I've enjoyed coaching these guys since August 19th. It was our first practice to go to Canada. And we set the tone really last April in our first team workout. And I've been telling you guys that all year, that, we made a pact. I'll coach, you play. That way everybody can second guess me, not you. And, no, but in all seriousness, they've been fun to coach all year. I think some things there's some misconceptions. Like, I say Cash and Cash and Dion are tough to coach at times because they're too nice. It's just, for me, that's a hard thing. It's not they're bad kids, they don't listen. It's just trying to get them to where they're tough every game, every day, and they're trying to be as good as Corey Fisher, the best guards in our league, Dwight Hardy, Ben Hansborough. Try to beat those guys. Come out here and try to chase your dreams. Because I believe in their talent. So I wanted to mention that today because somebody said something about are those guys? What do you mean they're tough to coach? No, they listen they listen great. It's just getting their intensity level. Getting them to believe in themselves. That they're as good as some of these other guys that get talked about, more so than them. And that's been a challenge with me all year. My goal with this team was to get them to believe in themselves. I think you're seeing it now. They're really starting to believe in what they're capable of.
Is it fitting, this senior class? Seemed like every guy kind of filled their role today, and you talked about Rashad on defense. And
Darnell's offensive rebound was huge.
Larry's
the biggest
three.
shot in the game was Larry's three. It was a 4-point game. We were really struggling to score. Their zone was effective, and we were missing open shots. Dion lost his confidence a little. Cash never got it going from three. Rashad didn't either. I put Larry in, and he hit a monster shot. Because that's the hardest one to hit. When the other team is stymieing you and you can't get it inside, they're going to force you to make a shot. The first one's the toughest one. I mean, the great case in point would be last year, Kentucky and West Virginia. They never made one. They could never get that one to go down in Kentucky. And it just snowballed, like missed 20 in a row. Larry's shot was huge today. Huge. Subtle thing, he only gets 3 points, but his backcourt pressure was great. That was a monster shot, but that's the advantage of having a senior. He didn't think twice about it. He caught it and fired. I think he sensed we needed somebody to knock in a shot. It's nice to have guys like that. That's why we got 24 wins.
Coach, when you talk about getting this team to believe in themselves, in simplest terms, are they doing that and playing their best basketball at the right time of the year?
That's a great thing. I feel like we left a couple on the table. I'm greedy. I don't ever want to lose at home. But really, at the end of the day, college basketball, unlike college football, we seed, but it really doesn't matter. You still got to play the games. And if you're good, you'll win. You get to decide our championships between the lines next week in New York. The week after that, you start the NCAA tournament. So you want to be playing your best basketball late in the year. So there's no question we're playing our best basketball right now. I think that what I've said all year is, we have guys, even our seniors that are in more prominent roles, more dominant roles for the first time. I believed in our talent. I loved our attitude. I knew we were going to be a great defensive team because of our depth and our size. Scoring was my concern with this team, and they've gotten more confident as the year has gone on. And early in the Big East, I thought we were a little shell-shocked with some of the games we had to play. At the time we played Villanova, they were 16-1, fourth in the country or something. Syracuse was undefeated. Notre Dame, but they still haven't lost at home. We weren't quite ready. I don't think we had the confidence to win those games, which I think we have the confidence. We're going to play in our first game in New York. We're going to play the 7th seed.
Yeah, 10-15.
So we're going to play. Yeah, I mean, we could play a nationally ranked team in our first game. we could play a team that might end up with a higher might have a higher NCAA seed than the Big East seed in our first game. So we could be 1-out, but you never know what's going to happen because of the Big East. But we're definitely playing our best basketball. But my point being, our guys are really confident.
You think they're more confident because, as you stated, you simplify things on the offensive end?
No, I think it's experience. Getting those quality wins is big. You know, telling it, people say, man, he's just got to believe in himself. Well, it's hard to believe in yourself when you've never. It's like a golfer. You know, when he wins that first golf tournament, then he believes he can win again. You know, for us, I think beating Louisville at home gave him a lot of confidence. You know, and winning at Georgetown gave him a lot of. I've seen their confidence grow. But that's the thing. You know, you talk to people a lot of time. Well, you know, a free throw shooter. You know, Yancey's just got to relax and trust his stroke. That's a common thing. Well, why would you trust it if it's 47%? What would you trust about it? I don't trust myself on a 4-foot putt because I know I don't make them. You know, when you start making a few of them, it's different. When you start winning some quality games and beating teams that you see on TV every night that everybody keeps talking about how good they are, you start believing that you are as good as those teams, and that's really what's happened. You know, I do think lately our passing has been better. You know, that's been something we've tried to work on in the last week.
Mick, do you think that the competition between Big East teams in the regular season helps or hurts in March? I mean, you haven't had a Big East, as good as it is, hasn't had a team in the title game in 6 years, and I think it has 4 Final Four teams in the last 5 years. So does the fact you guys beat each other up now play any part?
Yeah, I don't think so. Point blank about it, I don't think so. I think the thing about the NCAA tournament, it's how well you're playing going in. And I don't think that you're playing poorly because the Big East beat you up. I think you're just playing poorly because if somebody's not playing well, they get internal problems, or they got guys that were playing well and just now they're not putting the ball in the basket. I'm a big believer in it's what goes on between the lines, and matchups is big. But I think it gets decided on the court, and like last year, if you were to say to me, replay the NCAA tournament, you don't even have to switch teams around regions, and you would have had a different winner. You might have had 3 different teams in the Final Four. You know, Duke was trailing Baylor the whole game until they hit 4 straight threes in their region. So, you know, that's the thing about college basketball. You know, you could replay the tournament and get a different winner. So it's a one-game shot, and everybody's paid. You know, people have to analyze, well, the Big East and what happens. It's a one-game shot. Anything can happen. And, you know, I think it's impossible to really put some sort of opinion is worth its salt on we beat each other up, therefore we struggle. You know, I know this, I didn't want to play 5 games in New York. I'd like to play 4 though. But you know, we've cut our practice way back. I was telling Kerry Coombs today, football had a lot of recruits in today. And I said, you know, we're almost like football right now. Like people say to me, how was practice Thursday? I'll be honest, you know, I've told some people, because I don't want to hear things, oh yeah, it was great. There was no practice Thursday. We watch film. You know, we don't, right now we need to shoot. We need about 1 practice to get ready. And even in that, it's not very long. You got to stay fresh this time of year. And I got older guys, so that's our mentality. You know, no matter how many games you play, I can tell you, if we win Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and Saturday, there won't even be a walkthrough. It'll be cold tub and ice and energy drinks. Not just trying to stay fresh in New York, but thinking about the next week going forward. I think that's big. This day and age, I think that's big because kids play year-round so much now. We don't talk about working on your game. I think you got to, as a coach, one thing I've tried to do since I became a head coach was try to keep teams fresh late in the year. I had to do that at Murray because if you didn't win it. Didn't matter how well you played the regular season at that level. So I was really into that at Murray State.
3 weeks ago tomorrow, you lose here to St. John's. Yancey gets booed by the home fans. for all I know, you're on speed dial with the NIT. And now, obviously, completely different. Did you have, was there a cell job involved between then and now? It's a long season, keep playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest with you. The hardest, and I've said this in here, the hardest thing is to insulate your team from negativity this day and age. They got to turn the internet off, turn their phones off. It's easy to insulate yourself as a head coach, and I'm pretty good at it. Actually, it might be my best attribute. I don't have many. In fact, some people, I have friends that call me Waldo because they can't find me during the season. But we had a meeting about that immediately after the game. That we were still having a great year. And at St. John's is really good, and they've proven it. They proved it after that game. We didn't make free throws. We're 2 for our last 7. Everybody, what's wrong? You go 2 for 7 from the foul line, and you get a foul called on SK where he got tackled, and they called a foul on him because he ran into another guy after he got tackled, and the shot went in too soon and made a mistake. You lost. I explained to them the knee-jerk reaction of people that are paid to be media people and the fans, the sky's always falling. And now the sun's out. The truth is, we're going to get what we deserve by how we play in our next game. And that's really all that matters. So you got to focus on your job. But insulating your team is not easy. But that's what we really talked about in that situation. We got to be there for each other because it's really easy to get distracted this time of year and this day and age for young guys. And people don't even mean anything by it. Fans get upset when you lose. People question how good you are when you lose, especially at home. It's just natural. And you got to stay together. So, the old adage, that if you don't, you'll die separate. Hang together or die separate. So they were, you got to commend the team. Kids have really hung tough. And since that moment, they really dug in. They really dug in and played great. And the last thing I'll say before I go is our defense again. I think we're 4th in the nation in field goal defense or points per game. That was non-league. We built that really on non-league, but we've got to a point now where we're just as good defensively within the Big East against good teams. That's been a big factor to why we're winning. We're back to really shutting teams down. And if we get 69, you're in trouble the way we're defending. And that's been a transition for this team, being able to shut down ranked opponents. Kids going to the NBA someday on these type of teams, whether it's Marshawn Brooks or Austin Freeman, whoever it may be, night in and night out. A kid like Julian Bond's a heck of a player. Gets 1 basket in 2 games against us. So I think we got to give our kids a lot of credit for that. It's not easy to be the best defensive team in the Big East Conference, and I think that we're right there, with Pittsburgh with that. And our kids are to be commended for that. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.